Even you, the other day, had to ask me where I was at. Couldn't believe after all these years, you didn't know me any better than that, sweet lady. 686 out of 711 pages. Whew. The priest wore black on the seventh day. Can't believe we made it to 25 pages left. How cool is that? I'm fucking alive. Even you, the other day, had to ask me where I was at. All right. Well, it is indeed the final countdown. There is a non-zero chance that on maybe these chapters don't need that much work. We can maybe finish this novel today. On my 97th day, I would think that we'll probably finish it tomorrow. Just I have not come across too many chapters that don't need that work. Let me see there. Forget about that bitter clinger. I think about half the messages I get online on the internet are just from complete imbeciles. And I mean that like in the medical definition of imbecile. God. It goes with the turf. All right. Let me see. Let me get this unraveled and get that ready to go. And now this big Jira. That's what I needed. I needed to know that we're out here. So this is the 6th day of the whole thing. This is the day after it all went down. And hold on just a second. Fucking, you're so wrong. Twisty ass motherfucker. It's all looping up on itself like a fucking serpent. I'm sinister enough. Alright, what do we got here? Hmm. Yeah. Fucking weary. Yeah, I don't like any of that. Ba, 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 ba. Zucaritas? I like that. Choco Zucaritas. Buenolitos. Churros. Yeah, it looks like most of them are just cognates, but let's see if there's any. There's a cereal showdown. I think it marshmallows in there, Zucaritos. Zucaritas, yeah. Un tigre Tonio. Gorikissima. I have no idea. Yeah. That was big logic. I'm glad that you... Logic, have you recovered from your hangover? Lifted and ran, so far so good. Yeah, it's always like a hazy few days there. Yeah, I hope you were able to I hope at some point you get to catch up with all the edits you missed, because there's like a bunch of logic stuff in there. Maybe not where you were mentioned specifically, but where I was like, damn, Logic would fucking love this. Um, especially the yeah, just that final fight and some of the Jesus figures that enter into it. Oh. Mm. Sleep Like an Angel is also fucking weak. I missed so much stuff I was going to do. Yeah, man. That alcohol is a potent devil in our lives, and I drank like a six of Asahi's yesterday. I was real sad about something, and I'm gonna continue. And like I'm like edging into my post book period of mourning. I can already feel that on the fucking horizon there, and some personal stuff is gonna go down for me real shortly. So, so yeah, I was like, well, it's time to drink some beer, and I think yesterday I was really thinking about how much like our drinking says about us. Like if you drink when you're around like somebody, how much of that is just like I'm not really uncomfortable around you, and this magic potion will let me tolerate you. You know, that kind of like sense of unease with the world. It's more than just like lowering our inhibitions to fuck. Oh yeah. I mean, I'll be alive at the end of this. It's not my first time being bummed out after completing a book, thankfully. And honestly, I have like the highest hopes for this one. Like literally in my agent letter for this one, I'm like, I want an agent who looks at this book and says, "That's a bestseller," right? And anybody who doesn't approach it with that kind of fucking enthusiasm, get the fuck out of here. I'll do it myself. Because I literally think this is a golden ticket, this book. It's fucking amazing. But yeah, the more I think about it, and like, you know, when you're younger, I guess you drink to have fun, and you know, it's like booze and so forth there. But as you get older, it seems like it's more like something is intolerable to me, and this draft or draught or whatever will let me tolerate it. It made me think about the kind of people that I like to drink around, and like why I can't like be around them if I'm not drinking and so forth. It's a whole complicated issue right there. In a way that smoking weed was never like complicated. It's like you get fucked up, you think about the universe, you eat shit you shouldn't, and the next day you're like, oh, I shouldn't do that so much. You know, the end. Yeah, not just pumping the pole. It's just, yeah, I like, and I think the pacing is much improved since we've been working on this guy. So today I was trying to figure out how long I have been working on this, and I started going through my email, and I'm not done yet. But the first major edit of this, done by like the first editor, I downloaded a copy of the first edit of this guy, and along with that, I also downloaded like a letter that she wrote me, just saying the shit that was wrong with it. And hold on, let me see if I can get that on screen. This is actually kind of interesting to me. So let me see. Oh, it's quite far away. Let's take a gander. No, that's the actual book. Let me see if I can get the letter. Okay. So this may bear some fruit as we work on these last chapters a little bit. So I'm going to look at a few of the things that she said. Overarching issues, very little line level work. So the gray man, you need to foreshadow him better, which we did. Think about his speech patterns and what he says. And she doesn't see like a connection between all the havoc that he causes and the way that it's fueling him and making him more powerful. No real emotional impact to JFK blowing up. Let's see. And Matthew, she said, was like not a... she didn't like the nickname Crazy Jew Hausterlitz, which we've like almost entirely discredited. And then she didn't think he was much of a character, and I agree. And then let's see, Electrovision. Oh, here's a note that she put in that we didn't really address there. We like talk about it in an aside. She said to think more about her sexuality and desire, her need and want to be touched, and how this is affected by her superpower. Let me see. Let me see. What else is there? Oh yeah, we reworked all of that. Yeah, and she asked, how does Matthew feel about Thirsty and his relationship there? This book is generally in the present tense, but in the last third, it starts to slip into the past tense sometimes. Boy, that is fucking true. Yeah, I'm going to ask her permission so that if I can release some segments of this letter, and I'm going to put together the initial version of the book as it was completed, where it was back called The Invisible Man. But yeah, looking back through it, I probably started writing this in either 2011 or 2012. So it's actually been like closer to like a fucking decade we've been working on this. By the time I get it published, it'll be like 10 years of my life. Like the going through the feed of images in like, just as I was searching for this, just going through those years, each of those is like literally like walking on roofing nails. You could just feel each one just jabbing right through me. Wow. It's tough, man. Really, really tough. But yeah, so I think I'll have the very first edit all the way, and then you can see like after 7 years of progress on working like every single day on books, just about every single day is kind of a misnomer, but probably in the last 7 years, I've taken like a total of maybe like 30 days off writing every year total. So it's pretty fucking close. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but in the last few days, a lot of people have been mentioning the progress of time to me, and just being like, man, it's fucking crazy how we're just always amazed by the way that things like slowly change over time. We're just so bad at perceiving what's up. But yeah. Brown, beautiful, hopeless. The curse of waking up one day and realizing X or Y is completely different than it was or whatever. Even the intro to the other show, we went over there the other day and there's like a whole other building there. And the bodega that was there when we filmed it is out of business. And even the fucking shadows seem wrong. Like they've grown longer. And the eyes that I look out with them aren't the same eyes. The person watching it isn't the same person. God. All right. And it's actually really good that I have some personal shit going on in my life right now that's hurting me, because these next few scenes aren't meant to be kind to our readers. They're all going to hurt. Or they should hurt if we do it right. Her eyes slide open. Beautiful brown. Oh, yeah. Brown, beautiful, and hopeless. Maybe he's been at her bedside for an hour waiting for this moment. He watches Rosalie with an intense stillness. He watches Rosalie sleep with an intense stillness, as if she were a fawn drinking from a stream. He can't take his eyes off her. His heart sings with joy at their closeness. But when Rosalie wakes up, she's stilled. No kicking off the covers, no brushing her teeth, no heading to the kitchen for a bowl of zacaritas. Oh, I think we mentioned her ceiling somewhere in this fucking... I did that to her. She's defeated before the day has even begun. I know a woman who was like this, and I'm not gonna be careful not to dox her, but she suffered from such like intense depression that she described just being like locked into bed, like she would just be frozen, staring at the ceiling for like an hour before she could find the strength to go on. And it was such a contrast to me, because like when I like just about at the time I was like springing out of bed because I was like so excited to go write and everything. And yeah, like, ooh, I was like, this fucking, if she had been a tiny bit less crazy, I would have gotten really, really involved with her, and it would have been terrible for me. It literally would have been like one of the worst things that ever happened to me. And she's like a really nice person too. I like her a lot. But yeah, that woman would have destroyed me utterly if I had been fool enough to fall in love with her. And I totally was fool enough. She just treated everybody like shit. And finally I was like, I'm not fucking dealing with this. You know, I'm gonna go rail a dozen fat girls and forget about you. But I still like her as a friend, but we don't talk that much anymore. I think she's going through some pretty heavy shit in her life right now and doesn't need orbity dudes there. But that was the woman where I think I mentioned it at some point. Like I was dating a woman who was her profession was prostitution, and I guess you could have just said dating a prostitute. And I was like describing like this number of guys that hung around her that were just in her orbit, and being like, man, I can't believe they get like that. And she was like, when was the last time you fucked her? And I was like, yeah, like a month ago. And she was like, guess what? She's got a new planet in her orbit. I was like, God damn, ain't you right? Whew, she was wrong about so many other things, though. I'm not trying to make it sound like that prostitute was like an endless font of wisdom. Whoa. Ugh, fucking italics. Get out of there. Hookers are my kind of people. Yeah, I like... Well, that's not an easy job. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they call it a blowjob for a fucking reason. And they, you know, they really have some very singular experiences right there. Yeah, hookers and bums and all these people get to go places that most people do not. My sense of smell has been like hyperactive for like the last week for some fucking reason. It's very unwelcome. Need to air out this apartment, man. Whoa. All right, what do we got here? No padding to the kitchen for a bowl of Zucaritas. It isn't just her body, though of course he wants that too. He wants to hear her voice. Everything she has to say. Everything inside of her. He wants to see through her eyes and feel through her skin. Wants to abandon himself. Come a coin. Alright, hold up. Do we even have our leaderboard up there? We do, indeed. Oh, wait. Oh, it fucking sent for some reason. Oh, that's wild. Yeah, you got 269 edits there, Logic. I don't know where Spathiwar is. He's gonna be sad he missed all this. He loves the rape scenes. It's not a rape scene, by the way. We're done with raping. I got it. I got it. I'm fucking... I was just distracted by it. In a heartbeat, he would abandon himself and live only inside her. Maybe he's never been in love before. He doesn't know how to handle it. So when Rosalie wakes up, She just lies in bed. People don't just stare at the ceiling like that unless they're hurt. Come. Wait, the comma goes before 2? Fuck me. Where's it at? I like that, yeah. Let's just take that out. It isn't just a body. Yeah, let's just cut that out. Yeah, and that is indeed a good comma. Okay, so logic. I think that's a good edit. Oh, I could have used the fucking button. I'm dumb. And I'm gonna give you another one because we had to take 2 passes at that. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm glad. I wonder why it started working all of a sudden. I didn't do anything to fix it. Unaware of all this, Rosalie is still. Maybe begins to slowly collapse. People don't just stare at the ceiling like that unless they're hurt. Unless some horrible asshole broke something in them. Looking at her face, he can't believe how badly he fucked this up. She's perfect and he ruined everything. Ruined her and ruined himself. And nothing can ever put them back together. Hey. The word hangs in the air for a long time, a whisper that makes her flinch like a shout. It took all of Maybe's courage to produce that word. He has nothing to follow it. wasn't supposed to be this way. Battle of Chinatown. Wait, what the fuck is that? Somebody just linked a, hold on, I gotta see this image in the Joe Rogan Discord. It says, birds aren't real, wake up. It's got a pigeon, and then a equals government surveillance drone. Oh, I fucking love it. Hey, birds aren't real is one of those claims that I can really get behind. Because there is kind of like an unreality to those little suckers. Cats being alien cameras? Huh. They do have that kind of fucking sinister and reptilian thing to them. Like their behavior is inexplicable, so we try to come up with like a crazy explanation for it. But really, it's just the toxoplasmosis. That's the alien that's invading. This has nothing. Like bio drones, they can see at night. They're always trying to be up in your shit. Cute fury, take care of me aspect, killing household pets, and most of all, hate it when you fuck with their tail / antennas. Oh god. That's true. That's a science fiction story in its own right there, man. You should write it. So I will tell you, there's a trope in writing, which is that if you write absolutely anything about cats, lonely fat women will gobble that shit up like a whole case of Malamars. They will literally be on that shit like it's raining hostess. So it's one of the very easy cash-in things that you can do. Your short story about cats being alien surveillance drones would, like a magazine would immediately fucking publish it. Maybe I should write that. Because I fucking, you know, like I have the contempt for cats necessary to write that story. But yeah, it really, really and truly, there is like a whole subgenre of fiction that is, we can just call it cat fiction, because the actual the thing that writers call it is pretty mean. There actually isn't a thing, but there should be. I can probably come up with a name for cat lady literature. Cat lady lit or something like that. Cliterature. It's awful. It's supposed to be a hero. It wasn't supposed to be this way. Maybe fought in the Battle of Chinatown. He should be a hero. I think supposed to is stronger. He's supposed to be a hero, but he doesn't feel like one. He waded through hell and risked his life to save the city. He's supposed to be a hero, but he doesn't feel like one. I'm sorry, Maybe says, because he can't think of anything else. His voice is just an echo of a voice. Yeah, just an echo. His voice is just an echo of a voice is a terrible sentence. His voice is so thin and strained, Rosalie can barely hear him. Let's just check out. His voice is so strained, Rosalie can... His voice is so strange, she can barely hear him. I think there's a comment there. It hurts. It hurts so bad. Maybe he's afraid he's going to throw up. He never knew anything could hurt this way. He starts to cry. She starts to cry too. Silent tears sliding down her cheeks. Mm-mm. Oh god, I don't even want to think about it. Yeah, it's wait, hold on. Oh yeah. Oh, they're just fucking smart apostrophes. It's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. That's all proofreader shit. They got to deal with that bullshit, not me. And a lot of the time, it'll just in InDesign, it'll just fucking turn them into error blocks, and we'll do a mass find and replace. So I should have had it yesterday. Rosalie says. Her voice is so wounded, maybe he wishes he'd never been born. It's right. That's what he wants. It's right. That's what he wants. Yes. Everything you did is right. Everything is okay. It's not your fault, maybe says. Everything you did is right. Everything is okay. It's not your fault, maybe babbles. Why are you crying then? Angels isn't capitalized. Rosalie asks. Whoa. She looks suspicious. Maybe realizes angels probably aren't supposed to bawl. I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry for everything. I spent all week fighting against the devil. I lost my friend. I couldn't save her. There were so many people I couldn't save. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I hurt you. Yeah. I'm so sorry I hurt you, Rosalie. I'm sorry for everything. I spent all week fighting the devil. I lost my friend. I couldn't save her. There were so many people I couldn't save. I tried, maybe says. He's going to tell her everything. The truth. But he holds back. The part of him he hates. I let everyone down. Alright. But he holds back. A cold part of him whispers that the truth will wreck everything even worse. Yeah. Underline red suspicious. Yeah. Boom. Ooh. He hates that part of himself, but he always listens to it. He hates that part of himself, but he always goes along with it. I let everyone down. I'm bad at being an angel, maybe says, and at least that part is true. I had the dream. The gray man, she finishes. The gray man, she goes on. We fought against him and won. He's gone now. He was at the heart of all the horror. Whew. We fought against him and won. The airport. He was behind everything. The bridge. We won. We fought against him. Let me see. I think it's a little redundant. Yeah, I'm not super jazzed about. Yeah. We won. I was there. I shot him. We won. For a moment, the sadness lifts from her face. Yep. Nice. He was behind everything. Grand Central, the airport, the bridge. There was a battle in Chinatown. We all fought against him. I was there. I shot him. We won. For a moment, the sadness lifts from her face. Maybe he wants to tell her everything. He's silent for too long. She looks miserable again, and it's all his fault. Rosalie looks miserable again, and it's all his fault. I don't know how to tell my parents. Rosalie whispers. Maybe don't tell them? I mean, not now. Oh, hello, Lewis Smith. You're in. If you look at the screen here, you can see that for 97 days straight, we've been editing this novel, and now we have just 22 pages left to go in it. We have been working our asses off for 97 days straight, so we're all fucking exhausted. Hey, I'm Zak Zyz. This is my 10th novel that I've been working on since like at least 2012. And we're just now finishing our final edit of this thing before we try and sell it to an agent. So I write science fiction novels. I'm not going to click on your fucking link, though. We made a community to watch stream. Feel free to buy live viewers. Why would you fucking spam random people? There are only like 5 people on the stream. Why are you wasting your fucking time? Guy's probably a fucking bot. All right. Lewis Smith, you're out of here. Blocked. Yeah, I don't want any part of that horse shit. See, I was all fucking excited, and it's just, you know, some fucking advertising service. Oh man, careful saying that shit. YouTube will clap you, even though they don't manage to clap any of those guys. Buy live viewers, bro. Why would I want viewers? You know, like the thing I want, you can't fucking buy, right? I can't buy like friends who will like sit there and fucking edit my story with me and like have insights and be useful and so forth. You can't hire Rajiv from Jitistan to fucking do that. You know, like, that can only be earned through years of troll radio. But they'll know when I... But I'll have to when I start the show. Oh. Just like that, maybe he gets what she was talking about earlier. It hits him like a truck. She's late. Oh, fuck. She's late. Fuck. Oh, I'm glad. Okay, so I'm glad that you can tell right away what's going on in the first sentence. So I think Just about everybody who's over the age of like 18 will read that sentence and be like, "Oh God, what have you done?" Maybe, you fucking idiot. But younger people, as they, you know, they're like, "Oh, that could never happen to me." You know what I mean? Like the biological imperative that has held life together on this planet for lo these many years. Uh, so younger people, I'm thinking, won't immediately pick up on this the oh shit moment. Um, I'll, I'll, um, I'll do the right thing. I'll take care of you. I have money. We can get married. It's okay. What? I don't even know you. I can't even see you. Which adds wait. Okay, good, good. Like that was what I was worried about. I want to make it like I didn't want it to be like it just as long as it works. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one where the reader can be like, well, of course he's pregnant. Like, why doesn't he realize that? He's so fucking stupid. Kid is 14 years old. You know. We have what? I don't even know you. I can't even see you. Okay, I just want to get the I want to get the knife out of the fucking scene. It's not Chekhov's fucking knife. I don't need any more stabbing in this book. I love you, maybe professes. And he knows he fucked up. It fits so big and important inside of him, but the words sound so insignificant. Rosalie doesn't say anything. This is all new to him, but he can still tell. She doesn't love him. He knew that, right? How could he have thought otherwise? Look. I'll take care of everything. I'll tell your parents. I'll explain it to them. It's all going to be okay. This is all part of his plan. Maybe he pulls a stack of $100 bills out of his jacket pocket and sets it on her mattress. Rosalie looks at the bills and the empty space where he should be. Her eyes gleam with fresh tears. Everything will be okay. You'll be taken care of. You're taken care of. I don't have to be around. His voice breaks halfway through. He's crying again as he walks away. She doesn't call him back, doesn't say anything at all. He leaves her apartment feeling like the biggest piece of shit ever to walk the earth. No, I think we cut out one of the knives. Yeah, I was trying to put it back. Maybe I had that earlier, but yeah, just object permanence was an issue in the scene there. Okay, that's a big fucking scene. Why are you crying then? The monster, she goes on. Don't give away the ending. I haven't seen Das Boot. Well, I assume everybody dies because it's a fucking U-boat. Sad to say, everybody doesn't die at the end. Yeah, it's not one of those books. Although, if we feel like it, we probably could. Lemon's not gonna die. He can't. He's like the fucking reader favorite. But Carl's basically gone, and fucking not a German tragedy. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm jazzed about this fucking chapter. Um, let's see. I don't have to be around. Yeah. So he's done. So that's the second coming right there. I think we should. No, leave that lowercase. Okay, good, cool. All right, that's actually pretty fast progress through the chapter, like an hour and a half for that old chapter there. Um, and it was one of the most emotionally resonant ones. The other big part of it too is like originally in the first draft of it, like I had no idea how much trauma like being essentially raped by an angel would throw on top of a young woman. So it's like a love story between the two of them in the first draft almost. I think it's still like a really fucked up love story, but in the first draft she's like way more into the sex, and it's like very very juvenile and so forth. And in this draft, ooh, the other part of it, like, I don't know you. I can't even see you. Ooh. Ugh, so rough. Um, okay, so this is all for something. And this should actually be chapter 90, I think. Because I think the last one was 89. Yeah, this should be chapter 90. But we don't have to change the rest of the stuff because of the way that we break it into days. So this is chapter 90. All for something. This is 6 2, 11:09 a.m., and Gary has in fact survived. The angels wheel about his temples, humming sweet songs and hustling. Gary shuts his eyes against the fluorescent glare. He forgets the incessant beeping and the sound of feet peeling off the linoleum. They wouldn't have linoleum in a fucking hospital. He tunes out all the beeping and groaning and bathes in that white, clean feeling. Gary shuts his eyes against the fluorescent glare and bathes in that white, clean feeling. I am alive. Payne is sloshing around behind a gray dam of morphine, whispering plans of the great fun they'll have once the dope wears off. Gary has flashburns all over his face. He remembers. Gary walked down to Chinatown with 100 men. Broken, incomplete men, rife with problems. But they were still alive yesterday. Yesterday they were alive. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good call right there. Whew. Yeah, I'm gonna give logic that point, because that was awkward as fuck and needed to be revised. Like he's in the shadow of some... Like he's in the shadow of a monolith. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. It feels like he's in the shadow of some great monolith, about to topple and crush him. It feels like he's in the shadow of a monolith. At any moment, it might topple and obliterate him. Ooh, I don't know if you've ever come out of like a serious fucking bender or coma and you have like that looming at the back of your mind. Is something that I'm afraid of. Oh no. Fuck. They were still alive. Yeah, that's not quite good. Waking up in jail, hungover, being like, what in the hell? Oh, right. Whoops. They were still men. Yet still they were alive. Today they're gone. It takes the fun out of the drug trip real quick. The morphine isn't so fun anymore. When the dope wears off enough that Gary can have real feelings again, he'll suffer. When the dope wears off enough that Gary can have real feelings, he'll suffer. Guilt like a freight train. Regret like a meteor. It's coming. Today, they're gone. That is indeed a solid comma point. Boom. Comma point. Gary sits up in bed. He's lucky to have one. Some of the people in the ward are on cots. Gary can feel his frenzied thoughts struggling to rise above the drugs, like a diver butting his head against the surface of a frozen lake. Like swimmers trapped beneath the surface of a frozen lake. Her name was Karen, but we're going to change it here. Yeah, because Karen has just been poisoned by fucking Twitter. You can't have that word. Carmen from San Diego. Yeah. Oof. It stings even through the morphine, but she ain't wrong. Gary's already picked up a ton about Carmen from her background thoughts. She's gay. She's trying to quit smoking. She really ought to get to the gym tonight if she doesn't want to turn out like him. There are a million components of her personality manifesting every second. Unborn notions pooling along the cracks of her mind and never seeing the spotlight of becoming a conscious thought. Gary alone can see them. It's getting stronger. Cool. That's why I did that. I was wondering why we went into this whole thing. It's getting stronger. Did we win? Gary asks. He doesn't need her to answer. He only needs to see the impression his words leave on her. Riot's dying down. Fire is dwindling. Riot's dying down, fire is dwindling, and emergency supplies being airlifted in from all over the place. Huge lines for food and water stretching on for what seems like forever. Hundreds of cases of exposure, dehydration, frostbite, burns. Shoving the evil crystal in his skull. Huh. That is an option. It's not just the wounded from Chinatown. There are hundreds of cases of frostbite. The wounded are being ferried over to Jersey and Staten Island. More shipped in school buses to overflowing hospitals in Brooklyn and Queens. It's like nothing she's ever seen before. Cops, soldiers, and firemen who can't live with themselves after what they've done. But they're nothing compared to the children of the riot. It's like Jonestown down there, with more bodies turning up all the time. Hmm. So where is that comma? The Lost Boys are nearly all gone now. Yeah. In another week, there might not be anyone left to charge. It's all guttering out. It's not doomsday anymore. It's just another disaster. Numbers for federal aid are starting to get tossed around. It's all guttering out. It's not doomsday anymore. It's just another disaster. Numbers for federal aid are starting to get tossed around. People are floating the idea the whole thing was a chemical weapon attack. Some unknown agent that drove the city mad. Yes, it's all over now. Everything's gonna be just fine. Carmen lies. Here's his answer. It was for something. The men he spent. His brigade of undesirables helped save a city that couldn't give a fuck about them. It was all for something. His brigade of undesirables helped save the city. Helped save a city that never gave a fuck about them. A city that never will. Fuck. Comma. It's a good comma. Boom. In another week. Let's make it, let's do it right. And then... And there's that comma. God, I never catch those. Cool. His army of undesirables helped save a city that never gave a fuck about them. A city that never will. Gary realizes... Unless he tells them. Gary can be the one to tell the story. They'll raise a statue of some derelict Atlas, holding up Manhattan with a cardboard sign and coffee cup full of change at his feet. They'll have their names inscribed in marble. They'll have their names on a plaque. Gary remembers every name, every face, every man he led to death. Led is spelled with a D. Yeah, we do need that A. Whew. Fuck, my eyes are shut. The names of the hobo soldiers on a bronze plaque. Gary remembers every name, every face, every man he led down to Chinatown to die. He'll leave his own part out of it. Gary doesn't need to ask about his own condition. He's getting to be an old hand at this dying thing. As long as his burns don't get infected, he should be alright. Unless, of course, I need to be tested for Huntington's disease. My mother had it. Can you please tell the doctor? Yes, I'm serious, Gary asks. There it is. Yeah, let's just... Points. Mm. No. Didn't give you the second point. There we go. I'll give you another point. I need to be tested for Huntington's disease. My mother had it. Can you please tell the doctor? Gary blurts the words before he can reconsider, like ripping off a band-aid. Yes, I'm serious, Gary adds, since Carmen thinks he's probably just delusional. what do you call the... Across the ward, Gary can see Terry beeping away in his coma. There it is. There's no turning back. Across the ward, Gary can see Terry beeping away in his coma. Cool. So he would probably be in a Halo spine brace thinger. Alright, so what chapter is this? This is not chapter 90, it's chapter 91. Let me see here. Alright, avert your gaze, young peoples. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4... and then 5. Let me see how many pages are remaining. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In that chapter, 6, 7, 8. Okay, cool. All right, so here's what we're gonna do's. Yeah. So here we go. The next chapter is going to be 91, No Parrots. We're going to stop here, because that is all the mana that I have for today. So we got through 2 chapters today, chapter 89 and 91. And then we got through 2,117 words. And this took 2 hours and 22 minutes. Okay, so we just have 2 chapters remaining. Boom. And so tomorrow will be our last day of fucking editing. 89 and 90. So tomorrow's chapter 91. And Logic looks like you're up to like 281 on your edits. I don't know. Hopefully there aren't that many fucking edits left to where you can catch up with Spathy. Well, I know. But I like the maybe chapter. I think we do a really good job of dealing with the terrible shit that he's done, and like not excusing the fact that shouldn't pretend to be an angel to rape somebody. And I like the conclusion to Gary's chapter right there. I like his idea, like he's gonna build a statue to these guys and so forth. And that's the last that we'll see of fucking Gary in the story right there. His like character arc ends with him getting tested for Huntington's disease, I guess. And then chapter 91 is No Parrots, and that is going to be the last Matthew chapter. And then after that, we have 1 more chapter, and we'll see what happens in the whole thing. So, yeah, like I like where this is going, and it does feel like good and epilogue-y. I like that these strings are getting tied up, and we find out what's happening. All right, so Logic, thank you for your help, and I will be here bright and early tomorrow to end this fucking saga, and then a little bit afterward, I'm gonna try and get some strippers together, and we'll have a party on